Hi, 1 Hour Smart Home here, and today we're going to show you how to install your Nest doorbell and how to wire it up so you never need to charge it and so that it's going to work with your existing Chime. This is called the Nest Doorbell battery powered version. However, it works with hard wiring and your existing Chime, but you don't have to use it with your existing wiring because it has that battery built in. But in this video specifically, we're gonna show you how to hardwire it so that it will work and power up all the time and you never need to charge it. We've got another video that shows you how to install it without wiring it up, so check the description below. The first thing you need to do to install your Nest doorbell is make sure the power is off on your existing doorbell. So if I press this right now, you can hear that doorbell went off. So that means that we need to go down to our circuit breaker and turn off the power to this existing doorbell before we remove it. And then once we've taken that power and turned it off, we can test our doorbell again, and if it doesn't chime, we know that we've got that power off and we're ready to install our Nest doorbell. So let's go do that right now. Okay, we've cut the power off to our existing doorbell. You can see when I push it, it no longer chimes. So that means that we're ready to install this Nest doorbell. So in order to do this, let's just remove the 2 screws that hold this in place. Okay, we've removed the screw that holds this in place, and now we've got our wiring on the back. We're just going to remove both these wires. It doesn't matter what color they are or how they're wired, as long as they're wired up there, and just make sure they don't fall back into the hole in your wall. So now we've removed both of these wires, and don't let those go back into whatever hole you've got because it might be hard to fish them out. The next thing we're going to do is install our mounting bracket, which is right here. So the G symbol on this needs to be facing upwards. And all we're going to do is pull our 2 wires through here. The G should be facing forwards and upwards because this is going to slide onto this mounting bracket. It will not work if you've got it this direction and the G is not facing towards you. So take your 2 wires, pull those through, and then we're just going to secure this with 2 screws here at the bottom and at the top. There is a little bit of adjustment there, so you can make sure you've got it straightened out. I'm just going to use 1 here because I don't want to put more holes in my wall, but you should use 2 if you've got them, or you could use 1. It just might move around a little bit on you. So we're tightening that down, and now we've got that installed and screwed in place. We're ready to take our Nest doorbell and wire it up. So all you're going to do here is loosen up these 2 screws a little bit so that you can wrap your wires around those terminals, and then you're going to screw those in. Now, usually the doorbell comes pre-charged to some extent, but that is not always the case. So if you need to charge it, it's got this little port here. You can put that plug in there and charge this up. And I'd say give it an hour or 2. But since you are wiring it up, you're good to go usually with whatever charge is on there. You could always remove this and charge it up later if you need to, but you don't need to charge it, or you shouldn't need to charge it once you've got it wired up, because this voltage from your existing doorbell and doorbell transformer are going to power this up, and that battery is really only there as a backup if your power goes out. However, this can run on battery if you want it to, but in this situation, we're wiring it up so you don't have to. I like to make a little hook, and then I take my wires and I wrap them around the terminal and make sure I get them in there nice and snug. So let's see if we can't get this a little bit better in there. There we go. And I always like to have the hook go in the same direction as the screw direction, so that when I screw this in, it's going to draw it tighter. So now we've got that tightened down. We've got that first one on there, and once again, it doesn't matter which wire goes on which terminal. Both wires are going to work. It's not a matter of the color. It's just a matter of that you get both of them on there. So let's go ahead and take our other one and get it on that terminal. We may need to loosen that up a little bit. Be careful not to over loosen these, because if you do, you could definitely drop these and they could fall and be hard to find. So let's try and get that hooked on there nice. Got it hooked on, and now I screwed that in. So we've got both wires connected. Don't go any further here. we want to get this set up. So now we're going to go to the app and start getting this set up, because what we're going to need to do is scan a QR code here on the back typically to get this set up. So now let's switch over to the app and we're going to start the setup process there. To set up the Nest Doorbell, you're going to need the Google Home app, which is what the Nest Doorbell works on. So we've got the Google Home app downloaded and installed, and if you haven't done so already, do that and set it up with your Google account. Once you've got the Google Home app installed, you just open it up and you're going to click in the upper left-hand corner on this plus symbol. Now we're going to click on Set up a device, and we've got a couple options here. We're going to click on New Device. Here we need to choose a home, and we're just going to choose the top option, but you could choose whatever pops up here. And then we're going to click next. It's going to go through this setup screen for a couple seconds, and then it's going to allow us to choose which device we're going to set up, which is the Nest Doorbell battery powered version. So let's click on Doorbell right here, because that's what we're setting up. And you can see we've got the top option there, Nest Doorbell battery. That is what we're setting up, even though it is hardwired. So we click on that. Now here it asks us to scan the QR code. Once you scan the QR code, it's going to start looking for that Nest device, and it's going to need to be powered up so that it connects via Wi-Fi. So what I'm going to do is scan the QR code, then I'm going to put my Nest Doorbell in place and turn the power back on at the circuit breaker, and then go back through the setup with the device and the phone. So the QR code is located right here on the back of the device, and I would just take this off and scan it. Or they also have a QR code on the packaging. They're both the same in order to set this up. So I'm going to scan this now, then I'm going to install it on the bracket, restore the power, and then continue on with the instructions on the phone. Okay, this is the screen that popped up after we scanned the QR code. So now I'm going to install the Nest Doorbell on the bracket and turn the power back on. We've got our bracket here, and we're just going to put those wires back into the hole. And you can see down here at the bottom, there's a little hole on the mount, and then there's this little mounting peg right here. So we're gonna put that peg into the hole, and then we're going to push the doorbell onto the bracket. You're gonna push it on, and then you kind of wanna slide down, and you'll hear it kind of click in place. Now what I'm gonna do is go restore the power at the circuit breaker, and you're gonna see this light up. There we go, we've got our light going on this. We heard a little beep. That means we can continue on getting this set up and installed. So I'm going to click continue here. Now we need to agree to the terms and conditions. I click agree. And then we've got our usage guidelines, and we're going to click next there as well. And here we click next on our privacy guidelines. For now, I'm just going to say no thanks. And then it says, do you have any of these devices in your home already set up? You could click yes or no here. And what this does is it uses these devices to help find the Wi-Fi network and settings for your doorbell. I'm going to click no here because I'm just setting it up on its own. But if you already have these devices, you could click yes. Here it says create a new Nest network. So we need to go ahead and create a network here, and then that's going to set it up on this phone and on the Google Home app. It says plug in the doorbell indoors. We've already done that. We're going to click next. Now it's preparing our device. Here we need to choose our Wi-Fi network, so we're going to do that and click next. Here we need to enter our Wi-Fi password. Then click connect. Our device is connecting and finishing up. Now we need to just name this a name, so I'm just going to call this one Garage and click next, but you can name it whatever you want. Update is finished. It says, what will your new doorbell use for power? We've got wire terminals, so we click next. And then it's got this installation video. We've already installed it, so we click down there. Now the live view pops up here, and I've turned this down because I was getting some crazy feedback. But we could put the wedge on if we wanted, but I've got this just straight ahead. So I'm going to click next here, and it says camera is on. Green light will turn on and remain active whenever your video camera is recording or processing video. Click next. Live viewing, click next. We do want some video recording, so I'm going to click next on that as well. And then it says we do want microphone. I'll put on audio recording as well. Click next. Test your chime. We don't have an electric chime. It's just a regular mechanical chime. An electric chime is one that plays pre-recorded sounds in lieu of a chime that hits a bar. So you can just open up your chime and see, and if it's got a speaker instead of a bar at the top and the bottom, then it's an electronic chime. We're going to click next here. And then we need to choose our language. We're going to click English US, and then service terms, we're going to agree and continue to those. And then we should be good here. I'm just going to click not now for extending our video history. And then I'm going to skip just to get this set up. It says Nest Aware is ready. I'm going to click done. I'm going to click no thanks here. And there's a video to let you get more out of your device. I'm going to click next again. And it says getting your device ready. So we should be pretty much all the way set up once we finally go through this last bit of setup process, and then show you a couple of features and just show you that it's working. You're all set. Click done here. Now we're back here at the home screen for the Google Home app, and I can click on my doorbell, and that's going to show us the live view of the doorbell, and you can see everything is working here. You can hear me probably. I could turn that up a little bit, but you'd get a whole bunch of feedback, so I'm not going to do that. In order to make sure that the doorbell works, you need to go in here on the settings, and you're going to click on doorbell, and you need to turn this over, ring indoor chime, if you want your indoor chime to work with the doorbell. It does not automatically turn on by default. And then you've got some other adjustments in here. You could say if you had an electronic chime, but we don't have that. We have a traditional mechanical chime. So now that I've got that all set, I'm just going to zoom out, and we're going to look at the doorbell and the app together, and we're going to press it to show you that it's wired up and the interior mechanical doorbell chime is working. Here we are with our live view, and I can click right here, and you can hear that chime working, and we've got everything set up. You could go into your history here. You could adjust a whole bunch of different settings, so we're going to cover that in another video. But as far as this goes, we have got this doorbell set up. So thank you for watching this video on how to install your Nest doorbell and how to get your Nest doorbell battery powered doorbell wired up so it's going to continuously charge, as well as so that interior doorbell chime is going to work. We've got another video on how to set this up with just battery power, and we have another video on how to set up the Nest Hello. So thanks again for watching. Please give us that thumbs up, subscribe, or click any links below if you want to support us. Thank you.